You're 34, entrepreneur, and you have multiple companies almost, right? You kind of spun out this company called Confide. What's the basic idea behind Confide?
Well, it used to be that everything you said was gone after you said it for the first 1,000 years of humanity. In the last 20 years, everything that you say into the computer is stored forever, and the cloud replicates that in all kinds of ways that you have no control over. Personally, I think that's crazy. And so Confide lets professionals take their communications off the record to make it possible to say stuff that isn't stored forever.
There was this group of entrepreneurs, many people like you, who said we've got to figure out ways to make communications more private and less permanent.
Yes.
Enter Snapchat, enter Mark Cuban-backed Cyberdust.
Yep.
So what makes Confide a little bit different?
Confide's totally focused on the professional. All those other apps you mentioned, they're really for teenagers. So we saw a gap there and built an app anchored around a bigger vision to become a platform so that if Dropbox is your stuff everywhere, Confide will be your stuff nowhere.
So Confide is anonymity for people who kind of want to say something private in the workspace.
Which happens all the time.
There's kind of like an interactive part of it because you actually have to like drag your finger across to make the message show up. What's that all about?
That's screenshot prevention. It's a very important feature to be able to know if someone's actually archiving what you say.
How exactly does it work?
The app today is mobile, although like I said, we have a platform sort of vision for this thing so that, you know, imagine you right-click a file and instead of saying share this with Dropbox or Box, you can confide it.
We are so much more vulnerable these days to hackers. Hackers are getting smarter, and also more of our information is online. Was that part of the thinking behind this?
And we think this is really important for consumers. This is an education issue. You know, I don't think people totally know how much their stuff is being backed up in the cloud all over the place. And so we built Confide to make it possible for people to avoid that whole cloud entirely. It's not a replacement for email, it's not a replacement for text, but it's an option. This way people don't have to, you know, have everything that they say be on the record forever.
You're not just doing Confide. Explain to me a little bit, kind of in layman terms, what Yext is.
If you've ever found the wrong information in a map, Yext can solve the problem. We help 400,000 businesses manage their digital presence across sites like Facebook and Yelp and Yahoo and Bing, so that if a company like Citibank needs to update the phone number of one of their branch locations, they type into our software, we get it updated across the 100 mapping surfaces that people look, and then they ultimately find the best information.
Any other company you're thinking about building?
I have 2 right now, that's enough.